Since every one of my videos get copyright claimed anyway, unlike other YouTubers, I'm making no money off of my videos. So this video is sponsored. If you love fantasy football, then listen up. GM Genius is offering a fantasy football scholarship competition. It's been hyped up by some of the biggest names in sports. The best part is it's completely free. GM Genius is offering a chance to win over $25,000 in scholarships and other prizes. Come join my private league. The winner gets an additional $100 Amazon gift card. Go sign up at gmgenius.com or download the iOS app. The first 100 people to join my private league get a chance to win an extra $25 gift card. Links in the description. I gotta say thank you to GM Genius for sponsoring this video. I love what they're doing, and I know you will too.
Oh, jump pass. How about that? Oh my gosh! That looks like 1955.
In 2006, Tim Tebow was a young backup freshman quarterback. Essentially, he was just a wildcat quarterback that season. Urban Meyer was easing him into the quarterback role because he knew exactly what Tim Tebow could become. Everyone who watched that national title saw the potential his freshman year, but people had no idea what was about to come. 2007. This marks one of the greatest single seasons in college football history. Florida had lost many of their starters from the previous year, so in the midst of a quick rebuild, Tebow was the show.
In the middle, Tebow now takes off, spins his way into the end zone. Tebow with a fake, throws again, wide open, touchdown. Fumbles and stuff, we can't get him. Quarterback keeper, got it. Tebow fakes, keeps, touchdown. 17, here goes again.
Step in some trouble. He eludes pressure, gonna run the ball to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and he's in! Touchdown! Oh my! Tim Tebow, touchdown!
Tim Tebow and Urban Meyer became the scariest duo in college football, and after a Heisman-winning campaign, they showed no signs of slowing down. Entering 2008, Tebow had already established himself as a force. Florida was retooled and was ready to make another national title run. That's when the game against Ole Miss happened.
The 2008 SEC home opener for the Florida Gators. After a big win in Knoxville last weekend, the Gators return home. They march their way into Florida Field, the Swamp, as they get set to take on Houston Nuts, Ole Miss Rebels. Some more pressure coming. A little option near side. Here's Harvin. Gets a couple of great blocks. Touchdown, Florida. They made it look easy. It's blocked! It sails out of the end zone. Are you kidding me? Lofts it up over the middle. Tebow lofts it up again. He'll try Harvin. Off his fingertips. Seconds to play. 3rd down and 10. Option near side. Here's Brandon James. James needed to get to the 31. They will spot it right at the 31. He's your Heisman Trophy winner. He'll keep it. Second effort may have gotten it, but I don't know. If he didn't get it, it's your ball game. And Ole Miss will walk out of here with a win.
On that play, guys, because what happened, you got your number 3 left guard in there because of injury.
And I just want to say one thing to the fans and everybody in Gator Nation. I'm sorry. Extremely sorry. You know, we were hoping for an undefeated season. That was my goal. Something Florida's never done here. But I promise you one thing. A lot of good will come out of this. You have never seen any player in the entire country play as hard as I will play the rest of the season, and you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of the season. And you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of this season. God bless.
This speech was so powerful that it was eventually engraved on a plaque that was placed outside the entrance of one of their football facilities. Florida would not only win the rest of their games, but they absolutely dominated. They went on to win their 2nd national title in 3 years. In that game, Tebow wore eye black with John 3:16 written on them. This generated over 90 million searches on Google over the next 24 hours. Tebow's fame in college had shot into the stratosphere. His level of play, along with his openness to his faith, had caused him to be such a polarizing figure. He was a guy that a lot of people loved, but most fans of other teams hated him. Florida failed to return to the national title in Tebow's final season after being stunned by Alabama in the SEC championship. With the camera on Tim Tebow's face during the final seconds of the game, it became a disgustingly satisfying moment for all the Tebow haters around the world. Also, writing messages on iBlack would be banned in 2010, dubbing the term the Tebow rule. Winning or losing, Tebow was the face of college football. But now, it was time for the next chapter, the NFL.
My release point of where I'm actually throwing the ball is not different at all. You know, in high school, they said I couldn't be a quarterback, and we've come a long way since then.
Some analysts loved him, some hated him. The hype surrounding this draft in Tebow was similar to this last draft in Lamar Jackson. Many people felt that his style didn't transition to the league, which to that point, we really hadn't seen anyone like him yet in the NFL. He was so dominant in college that it always made you wonder. Denver pulled the trigger on him at the end of the first round, and it became the story of the night. And after only seeing limited action his rookie season, Tebow and the Broncos geared up for 2011. This was one for the books. So here's the scenario. The Broncos had fallen flat to start the season. Kyle Orton had been the solid starting quarterback for 2 years, but after a 1-4 start, 2011 was a major step back. With panic setting in within the organization, they had no choice but to hand the reins to Tim Tebow. Somehow, someway, the Broncos finished 7-4 in their last 11 games. Tebow had led the charge with a 6-game win streak at one point. The Broncos snuck into the playoffs behind Tebow's historically bad passing stats.
I cannot believe what I saw yesterday. I mean, this boy he went 3 for 16 in the first 3 quarters. He had a passer rating of 13. He was just I was looking so forward to coming to work.
Yeah, because you were right.
I was like,
for a minute.
It's exactly what I said. It's exactly what I said. And then the fourth quarter arrived.
He would have one of the worst games that you've ever watched, and then somehow in the last few minutes, he would will his way to victory. He was so spectacularly inefficient, they almost benched him. But come on. You can't bench the guy who somehow got you into the playoffs. And what would happen next was one of the most unbelievable things that football fans have ever witnessed. It was a game for the ages.
So Tim Tebow comes onto the field, right now carrying a 3-game losing streak, first time ever. Tebow launches the long ball for Thomas. Demarius Thomas has the catch at the 30-yard line of Pittsburgh. 2nd and 9. And Tebow going to the end zone, and the ball is caught by Eddie Royal. Was he in? Yes! Touchdown Broncos! That's what Denver does well. Play fake, 2nd and 7. Tebow down the field. Thomas has it in stride. Tries to get away from Taylor. Cuts back twice on him, and takes Taylor with him to the ground at the 13. Tebow, there he is, taking off Phil. He's got the first down. He's got the touchdown. Tebow picks up the first near the 50, and there is a nice shake move. Ball is out. McGahee fumbled, and Woodley has the recovery.
Picking it up. Let's see what possession comes out.
It's Cameron Hayward who had a hold of him first, and Ryan Mundy.
Yeah, it comes out just before his knees hit.
Got the time. Now runs out of the pocket, goes to the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. Jericho Cotchery able to hold on to it from 31 yards. Sophomore year in college at Miami University to win a game, will not get a chance to get it away. We're going to overtime. Snap of the overtime. The Broncos have been in 3 overtime games this year. They won them all. Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Stick on, got him free to the 30, to the 20. Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. The new rules. You got to score 6 on the first possession to close it out. They do it on the very first play.
Listen to this. Tebow passed for 316 yards. His yards per completion was 31.6. The Nielsen rating for this game peaked at 31.6. The prophecy had come full circle. Although they lost the following week, Tebow had accomplished something that many good NFL quarterbacks will never accomplish. But here's where it all goes downhill. Tebow truly never got another chance. The guy who went 7-4 as a starter with 5 fourth quarter comebacks. The guy who miraculously beat the Steelers in the playoffs. Yeah, that guy only threw 8 more passes in his entire career. The Broncos signed Peyton Manning in the offseason, and they sent Tim Tebow off to the Jets for some low round picks. Essentially nothing. They claimed they were going to use him on special teams and maybe even throw him in the Wildcat, but apparently never at quarterback. Even though the media and the fans begged the Jets to put him in, they never did. And they ended up cutting Tim Tebow following the season. Say what you want about him, it's a complete joke the way his football career ended. He did receive chances from the Patriots and Eagles, but he never made another final roster. Looking back, Tim Tebow's importance to college and pro football will forever hold a place to anyone who watched during that era. I mean, how many dudes have started a complete movement by their actions in a football game? Maybe you hated his guts because he expressed how he felt. Or maybe you thought that he was a terrible quarterback. At the end of the day, the way that he approached the game and the passion that he brought, that's what football's all about.
Hey, let's go! Get in here! Get in here right now! Get in here! Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our life! 30 minutes for the rest of our life! That's our bet on the first half. It ain't happening. We get the ball. I promise you one thing. We're going to hit somebody and we're taking down the field for a touchdown. I guarantee you that. Guarantee. Look at me. Look at me. Let's go. We got 30 minutes. Let's go. For the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives. Let's go. Let's go.